All right. So either way, we're in an uptrend. Whether this uptrend terminates here and then ultimately heads down and makes a new low, or it's an uptrend, correct, and then finish going up. Either way, short term, we're in an uptrend looking to correct here. So on the weekly chart, we are in a wave 3 on the weekly chart. Wave 3 should should probably terminate around this area right here. And then after 3 will come 5. So if we are in C of the corrective wave B, that should terminate in this area. And wave 5 should terminate in that area. So that's around what I said it was 447 to 450 is what I was looking at. So I'm looking for, let me pop down to the daily chart. I'm looking for some type of pullback in this wave 4 to buy a call to ultimately take this thing up here to around the 445, 450 area. So you're looking at about 20 points. So then when I let me pull up the order the options chain. Let me make this big, clear this out. And then when I come over here to SPY, I already went shopping, looking for some different calls to buy. So I'm looking at the SPY and I'm looking at this one right here. Wait a minute. No, it didn't save it. Oh. Oh, that's dirty. Anyway, I can find it again. So I'm looking at, oh, yeah. What was I looking for? Yeah, I knew I should have wrote that down. Give me a second. Let me jog my memory right quick. So these were the puts because I also had got some puts. June, July, August. I think by August. Was it the July? 440. Oh, let me go back to my chart. I think I wrote it down on my chart. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, I wrote it up here. So buy the no. Uh okay, anyway, in the money, we're around 427. I'm looking for a pullback and I'm looking for the target to be around 445 to 447. So we'll just work from there. So I'm looking for a swing trade with these calls, something that's slightly out of the money that'll get us that again where price will come to us, then through us. So, and then I'm also looking for the time that it will take, probably around the end of July maybe, for it to get up here. So if I look at, let's say July 21st, let me see what that for. Let me see, we're at 422, 427. Let's see what like a 430 call. I don't know, that ain't it. Even a 448. So let's just say, let's just go completely out of the money and look for our target. Looks like a 440 call right now is around 287. So if I pull up one call, 440 at 287, and our target is around what I say, 445 to 450. Let's just go with 440 just to be conservative. One of those calls would net you around 500 bucks. And probably a little bit better since we're getting ready to head into, if this is 3 right here on the daily chart, we're getting ready to go into 4. So we would probably look for some type of pullback, maybe even fill that gap, and then come up out of 4 into 5. Kind of like the same scenario I was talking about with Soxy. So this could be on the SPY, this could be a nice little swing trade for the summer.
The 440?
Yeah, the 440 wouldn't be bad. As far as looking at price wise, per call. So we're looking at around 287 on the pullback. It may get down to maybe about $2, maybe. It can get down to about $2. And that's the July 21st. So that gives you a little over a month. Let me see what the August. Yeah, the August is gonna be a little bit more expensive. So also when I look at this in a probability range, you see how this is shaded gray? That's telling me that there's a high probability. That's a high probability range. That 440 is a high probability to be hit. And that's on the conservative side. On the high end, I was looking at 450 to complete wave 5.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, that's up at 1,000, but yeah. So that is one to write down to look at.
That's with one contract, huh?
Huh?
That's with one contract.
Yeah, that's with one contract. The SPY 400 call and buy during wave 4 correction or retracement.
So where you think wave 4 is in that approximately?
All right, so let's look at that. So this is what I was working on right before you called, but I was looking at the ES though. If this is the end of wave 3, wait, no, if this is the end of 3 of 3, wave 3 of 3,
Mm-hmm.
then our pullback would be a great target already would be here, somewhere in here, filling this gap. If we look at our if we look at our pivot range first, this is the monthly high in the mid. We definitely don't want that. We are all the way up here at the R25. That's that red line right there. So we will want a pullback no further than the monthly high, which basically put us at filling that gap. So that's just off the pivot range. Then when we look at a retracement, so this was the end of two of three. And I think this is the end of 3 of 3. So then we will be looking for a pullback around between this. Oh man, see, that's perfect. That 25 and that 382. I love it when my what I call it, market structure entries and exits fall right in the middle of a retracement zone or a extension zone. That's what I add to, like, gives me, I guess, a higher confidence of taking that trade, or a higher confidence of saying that's my target that I'm trying to reach. So this price, so we're looking for a price anywhere between 424, 421, and you see how that 382 is basically right over that, the gap, the close of that gap. So a good entry price would be any test. I would say any test of the monthly high, which is right there around 422, 423. But since we're taking this long over a period of time, we can probably say anything inside that zone would be a good spot to get in.
But to buy that 440 car.
Yeah, to buy the 440.
It'll probably be a little cheaper at that point, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I was saying it could probably get down to around $2. Now, let's see, since we're in that correction of a wave 4, normally we will be looking for a flat. And the flat pattern is another ABC, but it's also a 3-3-3, meaning 3 waves A, 3 waves B, 3 waves C. And it'll probably look like a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, and then a 1, 2, 3, like that, and then continuation up. Which what I've noticed as well is, let's show you. A lot of times right here, a lot of times on the ES and SPY, they give what's called a running flat, which is this pattern right there. Meaning, like I was showing you, the normal flat, again, is the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But this B, the B wave of the ABC pattern, doesn't make a new high, right? And then it finishes down here. But a running flat does make a new high, like here. This is A, the B makes a new high, but then it retraces back down. Normally, when it's a running flat, it'll terminate like around here and then head back up. But this one dove down a little deeper.
I thought you were gonna send me some info on, noticed that you looked at something that kind of helps you learn these formations on that wave.
Yeah, it was the screenshots of the yeah. I use this all the time.
Yeah,
I was getting ready to pull it up, but it slipped my mind. Hold on. Yeah, I'll go ahead and didn't I put this in the PDF?
I thought you said
I
something
did,
about that.
I did. Let me do that. Let me send that to you right now. Before I forget. I'll put it all in the PDF, to send it to you. So this is what it looked like on the inside. That's sent. So what I do is this, I got the snapshots that I have up, and then I just and then I just flip through when I'm looking at the patterns. And so let me just go over this with you real quick. So like I was just talking about a running. Oh, gee. I'm gonna just go through because I ain't got time for all that. Entering passwords and all that. I ain't got time. So on a running flat, what I do is I just click through the different patterns. And so here's a regular flat. Like I was saying, it tells you what the structure is. Okay, the subdivision in 3 waves. Each wave has 3 waves inside it. So it says 333. So that's your 3, 3, and then 3 down. But that last one ends up being like kind of like a 5-wave structure, but it's called a 333. And then also it tells you when it says position. What this is saying is in an impulse wave 2, meaning your wave 2 correction coming back, you can see this pattern. You can also see this pattern in a wave 4. You can see that. You can also see it in the zigzag B wave. So if I come back over here to a zigzag, what that is saying is in this B wave of a zigzag, you can get the flat pattern, the regular flat. So in this section where it says position, it's basically telling you where you can see this type of wave formation in any one of these positions, in a wave 2, a wave 4, a wave B, a wave A. And here are the complex corrections. I really don't know how to speak on those just yet. Then also it gives you the guidelines, the rules and the guidelines. And so basically what this is saying is that wave B, this one right here, retraces at least 90% of wave A. Okay. So to not be confusing, you have an ABC, and that completes the A portion. Then you have another ABC, which completes the B. And then the C is like an impulse. And the C portion of the ABC tends to be a impulse. It tends to be an impulse like this right here. You got the A, the B, and then the C down. And then once that's done, then you correct up and boom. And then also on here, it gives you the Fibonacci ratios, which says wave B is 90%, close to 90% of wave A. Sometimes it's 618, 75, these aren't hard and fast rules. These are just guidelines. But you don't, if B goes past 90% and makes a new high, then that's when you get into the running flat. But again, this section Fibonacci ratio gives you an idea of the retracements and the projections. And then it tells you wave C normally is 100 to 127% of wave A. So if this was A, then C should be at least 100 to 127. So basically what that's saying is that C is going to finish lower than A. And that's what this line is right here. And then this just gives you the definition of zigzag, ZZ equals zigzag, this, and that. So then if I go over to the irregular flat, oh, that's what this is. That's not a running flat. That's an irregular flat. So let's look at it. So if we see the irregular part on this is B is higher than, so let's say this is 3 right here. And this is your wave 4 correction. B is higher than 3, but then C also is lower than A. Because on the normal flat, on the running flat, B is higher than 3, but C finishes higher than A. So if we go back and now we compare, and this is what I do. So if we compare this structure right here, that's A, that's B, and then that's C. Obviously, C finished lower than A. So then this would be a irregular flat. Now you wouldn't know that it was an irregular flat until it's over with.
Right.
But obviously, well, not obviously, but with an irregular flat, if we go over here, it's still a 3-3-3 structure, basically 3 waves. And then this tells us in what portion of the wave structure we can see it.
Yeah.
This gives us the rules and guidelines. B retraces more than 100% of A, and then C retraces beyond the low or the end of A. And then here are our Fibonacci retracement numbers. And then if you look up here, this basically tells us wave A. This is all of wave A. And inside of wave A, these are the different types of wave formations we can see. And then in wave B, we can see a zigzag. It's basically a zigzag. So any type of zigzag pattern we can see in there. And then in wave C, it's an impulse. And then we can also see an ending diagonal. And so the ending diagonal is also in here. Oops,
So when you say impulse, you mean it's a sharper move?
Yeah, a five wave pattern, impulse pattern. And yeah, and it does end up being a sharp one. Yeah, they don't waste no time.
Yeah.
It looks like things are failing, like, oh shit. They going lower than what we thought.
Yeah.
And so here's an expanding diagonal, contracting, ending diagonal. Now you see ending diagonals in wave 5, and then your wave C's. You can see an ending diagonal, which is this structure right there, which I saw one the other day on Friday, but I can't remember where it was now to pull it up quick enough. Then again, you have your Fibonacci ratios, and then here's your rules and guidelines. So that's basically how you use this right here when you're trying to figure stuff out. And it doesn't have all of the patterns, but these are the most common ones. Double zigzag, triple zigzag, flats. running flats, then you're contracting. Here are your A, B, C, D, E patterns. And you get those when you have a contracting triangle, which was right here. I got that marked in the ES. Let me show you right quick. And I did that on the hourly chart, was it? Or was it the 10-minute chart? I think I did that on the spine. Yeah, right here. So I did it on the spy. So here's your contracting triangle, which gives you your and this happening, and you'll have a contracting triangle like at the end of a wave 2. So this was 1, overall 1, and then this was I'm sorry, 1 was up here, and then this was 2, and then you had your triangle. And when you have a contracting triangle, that is a signal that the correction phase is just about to be over. And then you got your A, B, C, D, and then E. And then from there, you're done. Then you move on up. So that's how you use that. So if I'm looking at the SPY again, okay, this is where I had the retracement and stuff already ready. Oh, this is it right here. Anyway, so this is my retracement zone. So I'm thinking this is wave 3 of 3. So I'm looking for a pullback to this zone right here. And then right here, I got, on this one, I said the 438 call. 438 call at the termination of wave 4. And so the good thing about it is on something like this, you know, we don't have to get the exact low. You know what I'm saying? We can let it make its low, especially in a wave 4, because we know that a wave 4 takes time before, you know, heads up. So all we need to do is wait for the first low. And then once it goes into B, we can determine what type of correction that wave 4 is going to end up. And so this helps me
based on B.
Huh?
Based on what B is.
Exactly. Based off of where B terminates.
Right.
And this helped me on one trade, not getting the trade, because I'm looking at it and I knew it was a wave 4 correction. So I knew we were going to get a low, that I knew it was going to turn up, and then it did. It turned up, and it started pushing past the termination of wave 3. Normally, I would have been like, damn, okay, let me get in or whatever, because it's getting ready to finish it off. But I was like, no, just wait. And then sure enough, it pushed past, and then it started rolling over, and then it said, shoo. It did that. You know what I'm saying? It did that C one on that, the C portion of it. And I did catch that. I did catch it down here to take it on up. So that's what we would do when we're watching it. And same thing with Soxel too, because it's in the same position. So we want to add back. We let it make its first low. And again, you can add a portion there or wait until it makes its high. And then wait. And then once it starts to roll over, then we can expect, depending on where B is, where B ends, if B goes above the termination of 3, then our first look would be the 618 retracement. Where if this is A and then B goes above 3, we will wait for it to come to about right there. That's just eyeballing it. That's about the 618 retracement right there. Now that's if we think it's going to be a regular running flat. So we can get in here, a portion here, but let's just say it's an irregular flat and then it pushes further down, then we can add some more down here to take it up. So that would be the game plan for the SPY and for SOXO.
All right, let me chew on that and think what, how to do
All right.
some study.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna try to do some study tonight if I get the chance.
All right.
I gotta go get some chicken and everything else right now, so.
All right, man.
Hopefully this week I can end all this work, because
Yeah,
I got myself closing gaps and I made some gaps wider, so.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said, I caught myself closing gaps with this job and end up making them wider.
Making it one. Hey, that's how I go, man. I just look. I didn't spend too much money just in this weekend, and I'll try. The money that I made is already gone.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes sometimes. But all right, man. We can pick back up tomorrow, or
Oh
whenever.
yeah, we can pick up tomorrow for sure.
All right.
Bro.
I'll just probably I'll probably text you in the morning or something.
Okay, do that for sure, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right. All right, bye.